Good morning. My name is Nashville Adrian Mabiling of St. Ignatius of Loyola. Every single child in the world has the right to learn, explore, and enjoy their childhoods. They should be carefree and easygoing while slowly understanding things. They need our love, guide, and protection in order to grow. But some children across the world experience the opposite. According to ILO, or International Labor Organization, 152 million children worldwide are victims of child labor. The 2.1 million children laborers are from the Philippines. Most of them are working hazardous work that can later on affect their health. The situation of these children is honestly disturbing because they are already exposed to this kind of work. So to be able to help them, we need to educate them about how dangerous child labor can be. First, child labor refers to the exploitation of children through any form of work that deprives of children from their childhood, interferes with their ability to attend regular school, and is mentally and physically and socially morally harmed. Child labor is common among poor countries like Africa, India, and Pakistan. In the Philippines, there are 2.1 million children ages 5 to 17 years old. Based on the 2011 survey on the Children of Philippine Statistic Authority or PSA, 95% of them work in hazardous work, while ages to 17 years old are allowed the age of minimum work but still exposed to the hazardous work. Hazardous work includes agriculture, mining, construction, manufacturing, as well as in hotel, bars, restaurants, markets, and domestic service. This kind of work is common in adults because they are already capable together with their mind and body. But for some children, they were forced for this work because of poverty. They rather choose to work than to study. They see studying as a hindrance that stops them to earn money. Mining is the most common work for children simply because in mining it requires a small build of body to enter on the hole. Mining is one of the worst form of child labor because they're risking their lives in this particular job. Gold and silver is in high demand on the market because it was used for fashion like earrings, necklaces, and of course, rings. Abusive adults offer a good amount of money to manipulate them. Children were not aware that they're risking their lives in this kind of job. They're risking their lives from explosion, rock falls, tunnel collapse. They also risk their health because they're breathing under the ground. There's a higher possibility that they can breathe air filled with toxic gases. Children laborers may not notice it or not, but slowly they will notice the changes in their bodies. They will notice that their body is getting weaker. It can be burden that leads to different kinds of disease. And there's sexual exploitation. Sexual exploitation is a commercial transaction that involves the sexual exploitation of a child, such as the prostitution of the children, child pornography, and trafficking of children. Sexual exploitation is a huge problem in the Philippines because it's become easier to others to connect with them. Now that most of the people are internet users, sexual transactions become more convenient in social networking sites like Facebook and other dating apps. In this sexual transaction, children can earn a huge amount of money while child abuse, imagery, and cybersex. Exposing children in these worldly things and stuff is an act of cruelty. This can cause trauma and stress to the children. They are too young and too innocent to experience this kind of stuff. Protecting children against the sexual violence is a must. What will happen to those children who experience this violence? When they get older, they will realize and the things they did do and will forever itch in their minds. They will be needing to attend a trusted specialist to explain to them everything. Maybe because of poverty, their parents allow them to do this kind of work. They see this as a good source of income, especially if they're lacking of money. But this reason is not enough to do this to their children. Even though you have the authority to your child and you are the mother, you have no rights to do this to your child. But remember, children are not a property nor a slave. They are not objects that when you're done using them, you're just gonna throw them away. We really need to educate them well and persuade them to fight with children's rights. Children have the rights that are suitable for them. The Children's Rights Alliance states the following rights of child, including the rights to health, rights to education, rights to family, rights to recreation, and adequate standard of living, and rights to be protected in harm. The history of child rights improved for the past year, from Geneva Declaration on the Rights of the Child that declare and articulates the people owe children the right to means, economic freedom, and protection from exploitation, and upbringing that instills social consciousness and duty. From 2015, Somalia and South Sudan ratified the convention. It is the most widely ratified international instrument with 196 states. As of today, there's a certain organization for child rights. As of today, there's a certain organization for child rights like UNICEF, Committee on the Rights of the Children, and Child Rights International Network or CRIN, and etc. Despite of all these rights, everything that I mentioned about the history of children's rights, there is still some issues that children are facing, like violent discipline, bullying at school, sexual violence, early marriage, and female genital mutilation. This awful situation that other children might experience is heartbreaking. One of the countries that suffer from all of this is Africa. Africa is known for the poorest country in the world. Most of the children there suffered in malnutrition and extreme hunger. They can even reach the age of 5 because of hunger. Imagine this kind of life. We can even survive even just for a day. Let's think all the blessings that we received for the past years. We have decent clothes, good home, and enjoyable meals 3 times a day. And then, there's a child who can even have a proper meal a day. Imagine those children who are just starting to live and only thing that matters for them is to have a good meal. I hope that the poor state of Africa will help us to realize the value of rights, the value of children's rights. Education can be an instrument to stop this violence. Teaching and advocating other people will be a big help. Let's respect everyone despite of their age, gender, skin color, and status in life. Grow individually even if it needs to be alone. Let the children grow in their own and develop at their full potential. Remember that even Jesus saying the same thing. Love and protect the children. Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heavens belong to such as this." Matthew 19 verse 13-14. Pray for the children who experience cruelty and wish them to have a better life in the future. Pray to stop violence and abuse to children. Pray for peace.